Hello, everyone. My name is Bradley Bonham. I'm here to pitch to you Electric City, a new way to charge up your electric vehicles. Now, currently, the way that we charge up our electric vehicles is through uh, these charging units, which are, they're single units at a time, and they're usually in a private parking lot, or they are, hidden away somewhere, and they're uncovered, and they're just it's not a very efficient way to go about a business of charging up people's electric vehicles. So what I'm proposing here is, and now excuse their very rudimentary drawings here, but what I'm proposing here is that we have sort of a gas station style, and the whole marketing pose here is that is going to be in the form of a green way and a very efficient and ecologically sound um, business here. And so, it's just going to be like a normal gas station. I didn't draw the attached store here, but so you'll have the normal gas station with the pumps or the charging units themselves, and the charging units will be there so that you can have one car pull up on one side and have another car pull up on the other side. You have advertisement in the form of a tower such as this, and it's a large billboard, and they cost around $8,000 a year to operate. Um, so yeah, you have this gas station style of electric charging station, and it takes around 30 minutes to charge up your vehicle in total, which some might think is a very long time to be at a gas station. And that's where the actual store comes in. The store needs to be a very nice one, and anyone who's familiar with a Quick Trip or a Sheetz gas station will know that it's kind of a place where you can sit down and hang out for a while, and it has a restaurant inside. It has some really nice amenities, and it's just a very clean place to be. Place where you can sit down, maybe have a meal while you wait for your electric vehicle to charge up. Um, Another thing that I'd like to focus on is also the charging plugs themselves. So if you have company one over here or over here, and you have company two over here and company three over here, so they all have their own style of charging plugs, and um, logistics can be worked out later on whether we go with a style that combines all of them into one plug, or if you have another type of plug or another type where it was almost like the charging cables from the phones back in the early 2000s, where you know initially it kind of looked like Medusa's head, where you have just a bunch of different wires with all different plugs, and they are all, you plug it into the wall, but it works for your phone because you have 10 different heads there. um, So that's one thing, is we always want it to be for the customer. We always want you to have the style of plug that fits your vehicle. We want to make sure that we have full coverage over every electric vehicle. Anybody can use our charging station who owns an electric vehicle. And just a little bit of figures here, nothing too much. So startup, we can figure about $2.8 million on the startup, and you can profit about 500,000 per year. Um, Initially it's going to be slow to start up. You're not going to make as much money the first year, and as the market grows, so does your company, and you get more profits, and it'll be a little bit easier to pay off. We figure it takes about maybe 30 years to pay off the initial loans to get up the company up and started. Um, so right now it's kind of an untapped market in the sense that there is no other real gas station like this that I've been able to find. Um, so I figure, if we can get one started, turn it into a chain, and go on from there. You can put them up, start in the larger cities where most of the electric vehicle stuff is already, anyways, and move on from there. And hopefully, it can reach all across to the rural areas and maybe the next decade or so. As for the risk associated, there can always be a change, and something happens where, if let's say that the market moves away from electric vehicles and say moves on to hydrogen powered vehicles, which is another green vehicle which uses separated hydrogen, which gives off no uh, carbon emissions. Um, So a couple of things regarding the money here as well. So there will be, if we do need it, there's always crowdfunding. If somebody wants us in their city, they can have it through the use of crowdfunding. You can start up, crowdfunding and say, hey, we want to bring in this new green revolution. We want to bring it to, say, Charlotte, North Carolina. If we wanted to bring it to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we can say, hey, if you guys help us pay for this, we can get this going, and we can have the electric vehicle revolution that everybody's been asking for. Also, government subsidies. I know that government subsidies exist for this type of thing, um, even with buying the electric vehicles themselves. People who buy electric vehicles, they can get a government subsidy for about, I believe, $7,500 if for the average electric vehicle, which is a pretty good price, I'd say. Um, let's see. Yeah. Also, electric vehicles, they're kind of cool. I've had the pleasure to drive a few of them, and with Tesla, for instance, I was extremely impressed with Tesla's performance, and honestly, it was probably the fastest thing I've ever been able to drive. And obviously, it was on a track, but it was incredible, absolutely incredible. But anyways, yeah. So that's my pitch. Is I'm trying to get investors here to go along with it and say, hey, I can I can help you out with this. I can lend you money. The big thing that we'd really need is to have a company to go along with us and actually partner up with us to build the charging units themselves. If that could be leased out to a third party, that would mean the world in terms of affordability and pricing and everything like that. Anyways, thank you guys very much. Have a good one.